This is a music review of Eldorado, released in 1974 by the Electric Light Orchestra, who by now had been described as the brief ELO. So if you want to hear a truly great pop album with luscious string arrangements, which creates a magical mixture of rock, pop and classical sounds, you've just found it. And it's a concept album based loosely on a fantasy journey through someone's dreams to escape the dull reality. So what more could you want? The music just meshes into each other from track to track like a kaleidoscope of sounds, right out of the psychedelic pop drawer that was shut after the Beatles ended. Jeff Lynne's writing, singing and arrangements all hit 10 out of 10. And he has the help of some serious band members, Bevan included. Of course, no Roy Wood, he'd left some time back. But they, as a band, create a masterful progressive pop album. And it's possibly the best in 1974. So let's get to it then. Track 1, Eldorado Overture. It starts off with a narrative spoken word alongside the beginning of the strings embodying this track and most of the album. You sense the beginning of a journey. The shimmering violins, violas and cellos. And it glides into track 2, Can't Get You Out of My Head. This was a big hit single and some wonderful vocals from Jeff Lynne on this. It's a peach of a pop song with a melody and chorus that clutch you tight. The choir sounding arrangements and the build up within the midsection through the strings is just, well, it's also a hint of a very heavy Beatle influence, but it's so catchy that you just can't stop singing along. Wonderful piece of music. Track 3, we march into the track Boy Blue with trumpets and echoing cellos, and then the Bevan drums sets you on a crescendo, before the pop melody jumps you into, well, I guess another dream. Some neat rolling piano interlocking with the strings before the orchestra. Yeah, they got a real one here, not just overdubs, rises and takes you down a sing-along chorus. Track 4 is Laredo Tornado, once again linked in from the previous. It's a slower, bluesy, funky type of song, and you can hear the moog very evident. Stevie Wonder, eat your heart out, I felt. Lynne's pop vocals is simply stunning. It's a bit too long to be a single, but it's a chance for him to open his shoulders on lead guitar, and also the sound bounces along with the funky vocals. Poor Boy the Greenwood closes side 1. This ups the tempo again, and the choir segments are mixed beautifully with whirling strings, somewhat chaotic, symptomatic of a dream-like nightmare of sorts. There's a nice acoustic phase midway to maintain the high tempo, and it lends itself a little bit to a movie soundtrack finale with its climax. So to side 2, Mr. Kingdom opens up. It's a beautiful Lennon-inspired song. I love how Lynne uses the strings to raise the tempo with booming chords. If at this point you're getting a little tedious with the string arrangements, a quick reminder, it's Electric Light Orchestra, no Roy Wood, so little of the move on this one. Track 7 is Nobody's Child. It slowly starts with a chant-like chorus, and the violin screeches in tune with Jeff's impassioned vocal, a plea to a love maybe, and there's a stunning, well it's a piano, very Beatle-ish in the chorus, and I just love the swagger of it, which is intrinsic throughout this and the album. To track 8, Illusions in G minor, which is a bit of a Mickey take, I guess, because it slips into rock and roll. Lynn's obviously has a love for the late 50s periods, and the strings are minimal, which has some buzzing lead guitar, very Chuck Berry style I found, and although it's only 2:37, it certainly wrestles you away from the classical orchestral mood. Track 9 then bridges into the majestic title track, and what a beauty it is. Jeff's sweet vocal, a theme of absolute pleasure, and it's an electric like orchestra. That's what it is. Again, I have images of Hollywood cowboys when I listen to this, a little bit like dreamlike fantasies maybe. It's got a triumphant mood, a feeling of freedom of the world, and it's simply one of the best popular songs that you can hear. The Moog synthesizer glides us off into the sunset, and so we then get to the last track, which is the Eldorado finale, a short stab at reminding you, the listener, of the concept nature of the beast, with the final spoken word. On the new edition released, the CD version, they've also got 2 bonus tracks. The first is a lengthy piece called Eldorado Medley Instrumental, which basically takes snippets from the tracks and squeezes them all together. I bet probably reflective of how they might have done it live without any singing. I almost expected Gene Kelly to jump up and start dancing to Singing in the Rain at one stage, but it phases back into Can't Get You Out of My Head, and it's pretty pleasant altogether. But anyway, it's a neat short form of the album, I guess. So there we have it then. Eldorado, released in 1974, a cracking piece of progressive pop music. Get to listen to it. You'll be pleasantly surprised.